On the previous day, you can note the market tried to test 412 and it acted as a resistance that pushed the market down. So let us see what happened yesterday. After the price opening around 410, you can see the market just gave a straight away gain. So it was a very straight gain in the copper market. So after the price opening around 410, you can see the market didn't even came down, and there was a straight away gain, and the market went and tested this 412. Just because this 412 acted as a resistance on the previous day, so it is providing some resistance. So let us see whether the market is successful in breaking this resistance, and if it stayed above 412 or it went with the trend like what we expected to be the downtrend. Let us see that. So after taking a resistance around 412, the market then came down and tested the price opening. You can notice that the market, after taking a resistance around 412, the market came down and tested the price opening, and it was consolidating here. Just because, since you can see that on the previous day also the same thing happened. After testing 412, there was a drop and it was consolidating in the same zone. So the market was trying to consolidate there. So let us see what happened after that. So it was quite a good consolidation that happened. The market was struggling to break this 410, and that pushed the market down to the another phase of consolidation. Here you can see on the previous day. So the market, after testing 412, there was a continuous drop in the market, and you can notice that the market it came down and tested this 406, which was marked as a support for copper market. Since the price was trading above this line, even though when it is a trend, we should consider this as a support. Why we are considering this as a support? You can notice that you can go back to our previous presentation and see that yesterday, that is on the previous day, the market took some resistance around 406, and there was something happening around 405. You can very well notice that something happened around 405. It acted as a resistance, and it acted as a support after that pushed the market till 412. So now you can see that after testing 412, there was a straight drop. So that means that the market went with the trend. The trend was down, so the market went with the trend, and it was dominated by the sellers. So it came down and tested this 406. Let's see what happened after that. So there was some support because the market, since it has acted as a support on the previous day, it just provided some support for the copper market. And you can notice that the market, after taking a support also, it just went back and tested this 408. You can notice that this 408, the market struggled before to break 408, and that pushed the market down. Again the market taking some support around 406. It tried to move till 408, and it was not successful there, and the market came down and produced a daily low of 404.7. So the yesterday's market low was around 404.7, and after that there was a just because bounce back, and now we want to see what happened after that. So again the market provided some bounce back, and you can see again this 408 showed some resistance and pushed the market down. So there was a consolidation happening within the zone of 408 and 405. You can notice that the market was trying to break 408, but it is not successful. You can see how many times the market is trying to hit this 408. You can make a note of this zone also, but just we don't want to draw a line and make this as a support. You can have that in your mind, because everything we need to have in your mind. So we can consider this as an intermediate zone, which we need to keep a record in our mind, so that this will help us in future. So what happened exactly after the price in the price closing was that again the market tried to break 408 many times, and there was a failure. So that the market pushed the market down, and copper market closed around 405.9, that we consider as around 406. So when we look at the entire price action, what happened yesterday, apart from the initial opening pullback, this was caused just because why this after the price opening, this type of serious bounce back caused and tried to confuse the traders, just because since the yesterday price was closed a bit higher, so there was some thinking in the market that the price can move higher, but we know that 412 is a resistance, so that provided a very strong resistance, and that is a major reason why we always say a single day price closing will never change the trend. That is what we try to explain in the yesterday's presentation also. So what happened yesterday was that yesterday was completely dominated by sellers, and the price closed lower. So when we compare the price closing with opening and the high, low, and everything, you can see that the price closing yesterday's was closing is around 406 and the opening is around 410. So closing is below, and yesterday, considering the high, we can consider this that the previous day high comparing with the previous day's high, it is more or less equal. And also low, so low is just above the previous day's low, but the major fact is the price closing. So yesterday's price closing is just below the previous day's price closing and also below the Saturday's market price closing and Friday market price closing. So what we have got is that a closing below the 2-3 days closing. So yesterday this can put us into a consideration that the downtrend is intact. The market has got a potential to move down. So today also what we are trying to see and what we are going to see is that we are expecting copper to open somewhere around 407. This is the zone where we expect the copper market to open. So what we know is that this zone 405 and 406 is providing some support for copper market. So we need copper to break this 405. If there is any breakdown around 405, that can push the market to 402. And 402, as we have marked, it is quite a major support zone. These 406 and 405 are an intermediate zone, but 402 is a very good major support zone that marks a 10-point price movement in copper market. So also that what we need to closely monitor is that how the price is reacting within this zone of 405 and 406. That is the first case we want to make a note. So in order to for the trend to continue and in order to get a good gain in the downtrend, the price we need price to break this 405 zone and the copper should move down. The another fact is that this today also we are going to have the same zone as a reference. This 416 and 412 is going to holds good for trading in copper. So since the stop loss zone, you can say 416. So it is a 10-point stop loss zone. Even the price is opening around 407. Again, it is going to be a huge stop loss zone, which means that clients who have sufficient funds in your trading account can go ahead and make use of the trend. So whenever you have sufficient fund, you can make use of the trend. We have seen that on the previous day also. So the price opened from 390A7, the market just bounced back till 412. So this type of volatility, in this type of volatility only sufficient funds in our trading account can help us, so that when we go for an averaging on major resistance zone till we find till the copper market break the exact key zones, we need to go for an average and book profit at regular time intervals to gain profit. So again, today is going to be a 10-point stop loss zone. So what we expect is that we expect all the conservative traders to be patient and wait for an opportunity. Waiting for an opportunity and hitting is a key role in trading. So again, that is why we always say that market will provide you an opportunity, and all the times it is going to provide you an opportunity. It is not necessary you should rush and take some entries at an unwanted price positions and all. So you can notice that this 412, how we pick this 412, we have explained it below. It is quite simple, just because the market, you can see the market found some resistance when the price was dropping around 412. That is a simple reason why we picked this 412, and now this 412 is acting has acted as a very good resistance and has provided us a good profit also. So he thinks we should wait for the key zones and we should go for entries. If you are a conservative trader, just wait for the key zone and please go and take the sell call. You may know that this 408 is going to be the intermediate resistance, and 4112 and 4116. What you can do is that wait for these zones and go and take a call. So if the price is not breaking 405 and 406, please make a note of that. So that will provide some potential to again and will push the market to test this 412, and whenever the price has entered this 4112 and 416, it is going to be a crucial fight between the buyers and sellers. So this is a zone we call this fighting zone. We can also call this a fighting zone. So whenever the price is entering between 412 and 416, it is going to be the major crucial zone. So you need to average, we need to have funds to play in this zone, So what we can expect is that we can expect copper to show its downtrend. If the price is not breaking this 405 and 406, it will push the market till 4112, and also if it can push the market to 416. So yeah, but the trend will remain the same. So since you need not consider that if the price is not going to break this, it can reverse its trend. So it will happen like what happened yesterday. The price will move higher and then it will drop. So this is what is happening is that after a huge drop, if you are a continuous follower or if you are a continuous trader, you will see these type of patterns that happen for years. That is whenever there is a huge drop, there will be a pullback and the market will stay with the trend. Slowly and steadily the price will move higher, but the market will stay and consolidate with the trend. So the opening will be higher, but the closing will be lower. The next day the market will open higher, the next day and the closing will be lower. So unless until it finds a proper zone, it will do the same pattern. So what we need to do is that we need to be patient enough to pick the right zones, and also we need to be good to do not go against the trend also. That is a major reason why we always say please don't go against the trend. So today also we are expecting copper to stay in downtrend. Key zones as we have explained. Let us see what's going to happen during the trading session. We need to closely monitor the pattern formation also. So let us see what's going to happen during the trading session, and thanks a lot for watching our videos and all your support. Happy trading. Take care. Bye.